And a 1-point lead for Rock Valley. Green misses, and that's up and out. Tied at 13s. Mims through the double block. Smith got it up, but out. And at one point, this match was 7-12. This set, Drennan couldn't make the play. That's the first time I said that all match long. Yeah, this match, or this set was 7-12. It was a 7-1 run by Walter State. Feels a lot like set one. The thing is, Walter State has done much of this without their hitting really being up to snuff. They're hitting 100. And there's a kill for Butler. Rock Valley's at 143, much better than when they lost the last set, 25-16, and they hit a negative. Iowa Central and Gulf Coast State have already walked off the floor. They geared up, then came off. Campbell. Sweeney will go back to serve. Tied at 15s. Oh, what a play by Brown. And then another chance, though, for Green. Blum will serve. Mims, line shot, down, yes. Pause there for some reason. The double switch happening for Rock Valley. I'm not sure what the deal was on that. Tied at 16. Set 4. Ooh. Smith was standing on the outside of the court. Almost got it tapped off of her. Butler gets another kill. 17-16. Match right now winning is Walter State 2-1. That's Rock Valley that owns the one. Make it 2-point lead. Coach Blaylock should have at least another timeout in her back pocket as well. The team made a big run. 7-1 run to get back into it. Free ball up there by Rock Valley. Boy, lots of tipping, but it works out for Mims. Lots of tipping. That entire volley, I don't think we saw much of the big swings, but Lauren Mims comes up with one. Used to high-level play and allowed us to run a more consistent offense. Solid defender for a productive 6 rotation. Now the far official in that volley had said that it hit the antenna. And so Walter State, I mean, they're lucky that they kept playing, because the official on my right side was saying that ball hit the antenna. Rockroar through the block, got the kill, 19-18. And a timeout, Rock Valley. 19-18 set 4. Our scores were 25-23 Walter State, 26-24 Rock Valley, 25-16 Walter State. So Rock Valley needs this one to force a fifth. A back-to-back fifth sets here for court number 1. If that were to happen. And the officials are actually talking about that, probably because the one official said that the ball had hit the antenna. We didn't really get a chance to see that, though. Danny's got a lot going on. My producer is trying to talk to his 2 cameramen on my left. He's also got his headset on for down below. And Mims the serve. Comes back to Johnston. And point for Rock Valley. Individually right now, Walter State, Mims 14, Campbell 8, Rockroar, Richardson, and Serber all 6. 13 digs for Mims, 14 for Rockroar. And that's another point there for Richardson. Put her at 7. She's hitting over 300 too. Assist Brown at 21, Singleton 12. Other side, Rhea Johnston 13, Butler 12, Green 12, 8 for Billstrad. Excellent placement there by Billstrad. And we're just continuing to fight point by point here in set 4. Good battle. Got the tap there for Sweeney. Rockroar would have been down, so good dig by Smith. And then swing and kill for Green. And into the net is Smith. 21s. Rockroar blocked. Walter State hangs around with it. And the crosser. Not jumping is Campbell, but finding a spot. Doesn't matter. A little help from the net, too. Walter State, 3 points away. And another big block. Sweeney, Rockroar, Rock Valley, timeout. Coach Pierce has none left.
I want to be the David. I want to be the David.
Coach Pearson Company discussing things. The Midwest B district champions swept South Suburban and Carl Sandburg, then 3-0 over Madison. Right before they played districts, though, they had to play Parkland. Coach Pierce said that was kind of a learning experience, and 11 out of 12 players are freshmen, which didn't even talk about that. Macy Green is the only sophomore on this group for Rock Valley. So you got to think that Rock Valley's planning on being right back to Cedar Rapids next year with that entire group coming back. Getting some good swings from Green, though. They're going to miss that middle. Shot. Smith touched it first. Another roll off, and Zakai had to make the play. Oh, it got in. Yes, great shot there by Johnston. So Zakai Smith. Can't put it down. Johnston trying to cut it off. Free ball up there by Walter State. Set for Green. Oh, and a miss hit there by Butler, and a poor timing as it does put up match point. Oh boy, out of trouble to begin with. A free ball by Rock Valley. Mims. Line drive hit, and another free ball by Rock Valley. And down for Catherine Sweeney. And that is it. As Walter State wins 25-22. And earns the victory over Rock Valley. So Walter State has to play up against Heartland. If memory serves, in the same region as Rock Valley. So they got 3 in: Parkland, Rock Valley, and Heartland. Well, against Heartland, we have to move on to Richard Bland and our next matchup. As Richard Bland will be taking on NDSCS. I do want to mention a couple things. So Johnston finishes with 14, Green 13, and Butler 12. Billstad had 9. All kills for Rock Valley. Mims finishes with 14, Campbell 9, Richardson 7, Rockor had 6, so did Serber and Sweeney. On the match, Walter State hit 171, Rock Valley 145. Big blocks. Walter State 11.5 blocks in that match. Wow. And 7 for Rock Valley. So Walter State advances. They'll play more in the consolation here but a little bit later. You are watching the NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championship on the NJCAA Network. Welcome to the 2023 NJCAA Division II Volleyball National Championship Tournament here on the NJCAA Network. I'm Joel McCall, and we're inside the Alliant Energy Powerhouse in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We're in the consolation bracket, continuing that throughout much of the day, as our third match pits North Dakota State College of Science against Richard Bland. Richard Bland, the 9th seed, and North Dakota SCS, as I've been calling them much of the day, 17th seed. The Wildcats were just on this floor about 2 hours ago, going 5 sets against Landsley. A tale of two very different matchups. North Dakota SCS looked literally unstoppable in the winning sets. 25-5, 25-13, 25-4. The other two that they lost, 21-25 and 18-25. Gostovic had a big match. 16 kills, hit 294, and Hoff had 14 kills, hit 429. Samantha Cole had what I would consider a quiet 12. Cole goes right after and attacked long that time. And Scipione will be the server once again for Richard Bland. And as for Richard Bland, the reigning and defending champions were ousted in the second round by Illinois Central yesterday, 1-3. Talk more about them in just a moment on the curl there. Free ball up and over by Richard Bland. And okay. I thought that hit on, yeah, they called that a kill on Stagora, but that fell on, that was an attack error. Yeah, that was an attack error. So it should be 2-0. We'll get it all sorted. Cole, roll shot, finds a spot. So the Statesmen hit negative percentage in both sets 1 and 3, which led to very lopsided scores. 10-25, 11-25 against Illinois Central. Richard Bland won set 2, 25-20. And the match closed with extra points, 26-28 Illinois Central. Had a lot to do with Sarah Heath. Sarah Heath was limited to only 9 kills yesterday. She had a negative .025. Gotta believe that she'll want to put on a better performance today for Richard Bland and head coach Stephanie Champagne. And of course, assistant coach Sean Dryden. Two are married. What a story they had last year. This year they're going to have to rally back from an early loss to climb all the way up to third. And big swing and kill early for Leilani Goggin. I asked the coaching staff a little bit about yesterday. They just said we played one of our worst matches, and Henshaw back to serve, and said nerves might have got to the team a little bit too against Illinois Central. Can't be doing that against a top foe. And there's a kill for Riley Hoff. You know, that's what I said about this tournament, how wide open it really is. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 of the top seeds go down tonight too in the quarterfinals. It's so well balanced. A big swing there by Mitchell. Ostovich in that big match earlier. Goggin had to wait on that. Ostovich saved up, and Heath on a back attack and missed it long. We're tied back at 4s. Over on the other side, should mention that that's Iowa Central and Gulf Coast State. We'll have one more consolation matchup for you here in just a few minutes after this one's over with, which is Heartland taking on Walters State. Now there's a big kill for Goggin. And Jaden Brown back to serve for Richard Bland. And an ace. Coach Dryden out there pointing everything out. And another ace. And you have to wonder where the Wildcats are after a long match. Like I said, that was just about 2.5 hours ago. They come out on this court, played 5 against Lansing. And a third ace is Samantha Cole as that go behind her. Got to take a lot out of them. Played so well in the sets that they won, as I reiterated earlier. But boy, they did not play that well when it came to the other 2 sets. And now you're playing a Richard Bland team that seems to be all fired up after their loss yesterday. Ooh, Cole took that one on the chin almost. And an ace. And coach passes up. She'll call timeout. So North Dakota SCS taking the timeout. And what a run Richard Bland is on with that timeout. This was 4-4. So 6-0 run. And a lot of that has to do with the serving of Jaden Brown. They have 4 aces. Goggin and Heath with 2 kills. Richard Bland in 429. That's what I really like about the tournament, though. And I like the change. Well, for one, I love that the expansion of the tournament going to 20. Not that you've ever asked for my opinion, but I'm the one with the microphone, so you're going to have to hear it for a little bit. But I love the expansion of 20 teams. I think it's a great thing for the tournament. We see how well balanced D2 is and how competitive it can be up and down the tournament. And not only that, then you get the, as I alluded to it earlier, the wrestle back, if you will, of fighting and competing for 3rd place. And so I like what the committee decided to do with the expansion. As Mitchell kill. And that's a play that Mahagan was making earlier in the day. But when that fatigue sets in and you have played a 5-setter earlier, playing a team that hasn't played all day, probably pretty geared up after yesterday's loss to Illinois Central, and out. And so 12-4 to start. Chance here for Gostovich, can't put it down. Mitchell through the block. Boy, the middles were a big part of the B3. And that was not touched. 4 hits on North Dakota SCS. We see some strong middles last week at the D3 tournament, and that led to some big wins because if teams could highlight their middles, it seemed like they could kind of shuffle off some of that tough outside hitting. And look at that leaping by Leilani Goggin. Good Lord. And Coach Pass is going to call a second timeout. Oh, mama. I wish we had the replay of that last one. Good Lord. Goggin jumping out of the powerhouse here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Moulton is proud to be the official volleyball of the NJCAA and has generously provided all balls for all NJCAA Volleyball National Championships. Moulton for the real game. And you are watching the NJCAA Network presented by Zurich Insurance, the official provider of student-athlete insurance for the NJCAA. Zurich Insurance helps athletes get back on the court or field after an injury. Learn more at zurichna.com. As I mentioned, I'm Joel McCall. Thank you so much for being a part of our broadcast here on the NJCAA Network. If you've been with us for the D3 or last year D2, you would know that I don't typically sound like this. But I am dealing with one massive head cold that will not go away. Couldn't even be here yesterday. Coach Champagne and Coach Dryden asking me about that, because I didn't come down and ask for pronunciations yesterday. And I said, yeah, I couldn't be here yesterday. Made it today, though, and happy to be broadcasting some volleyball with you. Goggin into the net at the 10-foot line. So 14-5. Coach Pass has already used up 2 of her timeouts. Mitchell and down. Those quick attacks. And so Goggin will go back to serve. Goggin in all region and tournament, converted back to a 6 rotation. Defense and serve receive took off during the beach season. She switched from an outside to a middle, back to an outside. Vestovich. Vestovich on that. And jump serve there for Johnson. And we got a net violation on NDSCS. Couple switches coming. Phoebe's going back to serve. Phoebe Heath. Almost another ace, jeez. That was close. The only sets for Heath. Sarah, that is. Saved up now. Yeah, couldn't quite be played up by Goggin. Good dive for her, but didn't have to be made. And then the double sub as Hinshaw comes back in to play the back line for Richard Bland. And it's Hinshaw, it was Mohagan that served. Jeez. I'll find her eventually on my roster. That's going to hit the netting. And a point for Richard Bland. That goes to Addison White. Originally a pin, but great power, top spin serve, and lots of knowledge for the freshman. Probably be looking at more swings next year. And Sarah Heath and Goggin take so many swings up front. Richard Bland. They had one of the best setters that you'll ever see at the tournament last year with Durko, and that is missed out by Jaden Brown. And Foster, the setter for North Dakota SCS, back to serve. And back corner, but missed. This match started off with Richard Bland hitting well over 400. North Dakota SCS hitting zeros right now, and Richard Bland has fallen back to somewhat of a realism of 250. And a big swing kill there for Sarah Heath. I mean, seriously, 565 kills. She does 4.67 kills per set. Only had 9 yesterday, but second in kills, third in kills percent, third in points, and points per set. There's just not much you could say, much more you can add. Well, I'll do this then. The Region 10 Player of the Year. She was the tournament MVP. She's going to get an ace here. A 4.0 student, self-motivated, captain, leads by example. Everything you want in a student athlete, Coach Champagne said. And Sarah Heath is getting looks at the D1 level. Sideways on Johnson. Called off by Hinshaw to set. And Brown makes a play. Just not the same North Dakota SCS that I saw earlier in the day. But they had a bad set, and then they come back and play marvelous. That one sails out. But still double up time, 20-10. Looks like we got a sub coming in for the Wildcats, but that did not happen. I don't know what happened there. Tipped in a net violation. I think that was long. And so with the net violation, that puts it back to Richard Bland's side, 21-10. And into the net. Stigora had a really nice match earlier against Lansing. She wasn't up there in the top 3 of kills, but she still performed pretty well. Wow, what a great play there by Hinshaw to keep it alive. Oh, look out, the overpass, don't want to do that. Stahlberger takes that. That's the second time I've seen an NDSCS Wildcat coming up to sub and then came back off.
Delay warning on North Dakota State.
They got delayed because of the running up to change, and then they didn't make the change because there really wasn't one to make. Brown through the block. That was not touched. 4 hits on Richard Bland.
4 hits, point Wildcats.
21-13. Talked about NDSCS and their very difficult schedule. And they went off and played the OWT. That hit the antenna, didn't it? Yep. They went 0 for 4 there, losing to Sauk Valley in 5, lost to Parkland in 4, Heartland in 4, Johnson County in 3. But I think it really proved a lot for Coach Passa and what she was looking for with this group and trying to play it, at a high level so early on, kind of testing them. She said, I knew this team was going to be special and had to push ourselves. When you are a freshman, you don't really know what level you need to play at to be successful. That's why we pushed them, and those paid off. And that type of a tournament where you go, it's not just about who you play. Wow, that big swing. Gostovich. Gostovich on that kill. Back to serve is Lily Matherin. But it's not so much about who you play, but it's also who you watch. Everybody's essentially there. A who's who is Goggin. And another big swing for her. Oh, and she gets up on top of things. It is deadly. Ooh, and a kill there for Stahlberger. And to finish the thought on the OWT, you know, the opening weekend tournament, as Coach Passes said, when you're a freshman, you don't know what really to expect. And so seeing a team like Parkland who does it consistently year in, year out at such a high level, and even competing with them, taking a set off the Cobras, which not many have done this year, I think speaks volumes about what they were able to accomplish early on, and now they're at the tournament and won a couple of matches too at the national tournament. And tipped. They're not going away here. Samantha Cole. Got to dump that off. Scipione had to just kind of dump that off. Had no choice, and it is set point. As Phoebe Heath goes back to serve. Ooh. Still got a swing out of it with Cole. Good dig by Johnson. And set up the attack. Stahlberger again. And it looks like back to serve will be Mohagan, the libero. 485 digs coming into the season. Almost 4 digs per set. And I talk about her, and that's what happens. 25-18, first set, won by Richard Bland. And so we'll take the timeout. Consolation round continues. You are watching the NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championship on the NJCAA Network. 25-18 our score for the first as Richard Bland wins set number 1 over North Dakota SCS in our consolation bracket. Got to get used to saying that too, because usually it's like the 9th place bracket or the 7th place bracket. This is just the consolation bracket. Everybody's thrown into one pool. You work your way back all the way up to 3rd. And so Mohegan will start us off for North Dakota SCS for set 2. What do the Wildcats have that they can respond to? They have something left in the tank. Again, they played that 5-setter. Ooh, that might have been out. And instead, it's played by Johnson and a point. So let's talk about that first set. 250 is what Richard Bland hit. 15 kills, 6 errors. North Dakota SCS, 9 kills, 4 errors for a percentage of 161. That was on a total of 31 attacks. And just 8 assists. Oh boy. Henshaw going all the way back. And a free ball by Richard Bland. And your defense scrambles around, and that's kind of what happens. Dakota puts home the big swing kill. Another big asset to the first set for Richard Bland. 5 aces, just 3 surveyors. North Dakota SCS, 0 aces, 1 error. Foster was the server here. And Sarah Heath, who works every which way. So that's the other proponent of her game. So she's not just middle, she's, or outside, she's right side, she's middle, she's outside. Doesn't matter. She's going to hit it. And we've even seen some back attacks for her. And not getting it up and over the net. And Heath hitting it. And she had volume yesterday against Illinois Central. It's just she wasn't as effective. Today she's hitting 6 kills, 3 errors on 15 attacks for 200. And so those tips that worked well for North Dakota SCS, they were swinging a lot harder in that first match we saw against Lansing. That tip worked out. And that was for Stagora. And there's no tip there as Goggin just jumps out of the gym. He is playing phenomenally well. Henshaw goes back to serve. Oh, and off the tape. So Henshaw gets the ace, 5-2 lead for Richard Bland. They're in set number 2, and they lead the match 1-0. Big swing there by Gostovich, but not down. And over on the other side, it's Jaden Brown. 3rd team All-Region. More of a serving role this year, but works pin position when Richard Bland had one go down with an injury. So Coach Champagne calling on their freshman here. And Henshaw into the net. I believe that first one over on the other side. Still not getting updates from Dwayne. They're disappointed in what's going on over there on the other side. 25-18. Iowa Central won their first one against Gulf Coast State. And they went into the net. Called on North Dakota SCS. In case you're wondering about tomorrow for these two teams, if you were a chance to watch, 1 o'clock tomorrow will be Richard Bland and NDSCS, pardon me. We have a challenge So they're challenging the net violation. Now tomorrow that would be 1 o'clock. And they would take on the, let's see, the loser of, looks like match 21, which would be Cali or Illinois Central. So Richard Bland could meet up with the same team again tomorrow if they won. I could be reading that wrong. It could be 23. It is 23, pardon me. So that's Scottsdale Kirkwood. Yeah, that's my bad. The writing on the bracket is so small after I print it off. So let's see what the call is as the review's over with after the net violation, which was called. And they confirm that. A quick replay, got everything squared away with our replay system. And so with that, there'll be Richard Bland still serving with Jaden Brown. From that, but not down. Heath on the back row attack, but out.
Attack is wide. Point Wildcats. In for Wildcats, number 11, Lily Mather.
And then Mather comes in to serve. Wildcats coach Passa. So exactly what she asked for, though. Her team to win one. That first one, they got that done. Won again earlier. And to play 3 matches at the national tournament. Wow, what a play there by Scipione to keep that alive. And the point goes to the Statesmen. That goes credit to Brown and Scipione, though. And Goggin to serve. Oh, nearly an overpass. So just punched over by Foster. Mitchell swings in the middle and will get the kill. Got to win a couple again tomorrow, though, in order to make it to championship Saturday. And for like Richard Bland and Iowa Central, Heartland that we're going to have here coming up. Wow, not fooled on that peekaboo play as Gostovich was coming up to hit, and Richard Bland read it well, knew it was coming, did not jump on the first attacker, waited, and Mitchell blocks that on a solo. Second team all region, had to learn aggressive and fearless, improved greatly, and an ace. Coach Passa is coming up and calls the timeout. And she's having quite the conversation with Gostovich. In order your official 2023 NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championship merchandise online at the NJCAA store. Visit shopnjca.com to view exclusive national championship merchandise. Ooh, didn't do that all morning. Stay up to date with the latest news and information regarding NJCAA volleyball by visiting the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association. That's njca.org. So 11-4, the score. Richard Bland leading. Set 2. Richard Bland won the first set, 25-18. And so Leilani Goggin back to serve again. Tip over by And there is Heath. So that set looks like it's going to Mitchell, climbs over Mitchell, and goes to Heath. I want to thank Coach Passa as well as Coach Champagne, and actually every one of our coaches. Oh, no, except one. The one coach that did not get back to me. Otherwise, everybody send an email. Coach Champagne, I printed hers off because it's 4 pages long. It's so much information about her team and how proud she was of what they were able to accomplish last year and moving on to this year. And I even shared it with another broadcaster partner of mine. And Mitchell with a quick attack. And they both said, why can't more coaches send that much information? You could read, you could read the passion through it. It's so good. Like I said, 4 pages long. I had to narrow it down to, sentences here and there, but I read the whole thing. And Coach Passa wrote a very nice, passionate email about her players as well. Oh, big swing kill there for Cole. I mentioned how Richard Bland last year winning the championship.
Serving is number 2, Ryan Mulhagan.
I want to make mention of Durko Kerrigan playing B2 at UNC Pembroke. Found out she was going back and seeing some of her old teammates as well. Been at practice a couple times. Richard Bland, so that's pretty cool. She was a marvelous player last year. Well, the 3 years I got to see her. And she was one of the COVID players, which that, of course, is gone now. Not COVID itself, but the whole COVID years. Another thing I tested for before I came down here was Scipione almost has an ace. Heath can't put it down. Far side. And a push. Scipione. And 15-6. Right now, Richard Bland's hitting .562 in set 2. And that cut is wide. As for Cole, and Coach Pass is going to call another timeout. And you heard the PA announcer, their second and final here in set number 2. Follow all the action of the 2023 NJCAA Volleyball Championships live on the NJCAA Network. Go to njcaa.org/network to view a live and archive video of each game. The NJCAA Network is now available on mobile, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Android TV streaming platforms. The NJCAA Network, the home for NJCAA digital content. 25-18 was our first score. That went to Richard Bland. Here, 16-6. And for North Dakota SCS, hitting 0 right now. Had 4 kills and 4 airs on 17 attacks. Like I said, Richard Bland, .562 is what they're hitting. 10 kills, just 1 error. In this set, they've only had 7 attack errors in the day. 346 total. 25 assists on those 25 kills. 7 aces, only 4 errors. And North Dakota SCS still nada on the aces and just the 1 error on the serving line. No kill there for Sarah Heath. Back set. And we got a call here. They go attack.
In for the Wildcats, number 14, Riley Bob. Serving is Peyton Foster.
And Foster, the setter, goes back to serve. And an ace serve for Foster. There's the first ace of the match. Talk about these offenses and what they ran. Passa was running a 6-2 at one point and shut that off. And figured that the 5-1 was best with Foster. So great decision-making skills, runs a quick offense with great success. Sarah Heath to serve. Big swing in the middle. We had a... Okay, there it was. I'm going to say, everybody stopped playing for a little bit. Addison White called for in the net. I couldn't tell if that was on our side or the other side. Samantha Cole coming in. And then Abby Johnson subs. Oh, Coach Champagne went over and grabbed the old green card. I think we're gonna challenge the net call here. So we're in set number 2, 17-9. Our score, Richard Bland leading. And they lead the match 1-0 after winning 25-18. Over on the other side, Iowa Central is leading Gulf Coast State 1-0. That match, though, right now 12-10 Gulf Coast State. So, you know, we talked about North Dakota SCS and where they went off for their tournaments. They also held a big tournament, having DMAC up and Iowa Central. This Wildcat team had a win over the Bears. And the call confirmed there. For Richard Bland, they went off to the Cape Fear invite. They beat Walter State there. And then lost to St. John's River State College. They also went to the Owens invite. And lost to Parkland there. We haven't even talked about Coach Champagne and her resume. We've talked about Coach Passa earlier in the 25 years, and now she's getting some alumni kids to come and play, which is pretty cool. Coach Champagne, she's got a resume that speaks for themselves too. She played at Owens. She's the first female inducted into their Hall of Fame at Owens. She only went off to play at Austin, PA then, and she was also a two-time All-American at Owens, and then was a Female Athlete of the Year at Austin, PA, and she's inducted into their Hall of Fame too. You know, ho-hum. No big deal on that. Mitchell kill. Hinshaw to serve, and another ace. Can't get it down though. Gostovich, tip over on the far side, and a overpass come off of Mohagan, and Mitchell tattoos that. Richard Bland 3 points away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead. And wow, we'll see Rose Wendell coming in. Coach Passa changing things up on her offense here, late stages of set 2. Wendell sits on the far side. Kostovich, though, couldn't put it down. And Goggin hits it out. We talked about the 6-2 and then the 5-1 for the Wildcats. That's their offense. So 6-2, then you know you got two setters rotating in and out. 5-1, pretty much just sticking with the one. And a missed serve. But that was the secondary setter then, that 2023 National Miss Agriculture USA Queen. Huge asset in practice to mimic fast offenses. What Coach Passes said about Wendell. And boy, Jaden Brown, who already had several aces earlier. She had 4 in the first set. She's now up to 5, and set point. Far away for Gostovich. And Goggin with the kill, 25-10. Richard Bland for Goggin, 7 kills. Mitchell 7, Heath 8. Cole Stahlberger 4, Gostovich 3. Richard Bland hit 417 in that set. And they lead the match 2-0. We'll come back in just a moment. You are watching the NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championship Consolation Bracket on the NJCAA Network. (25-10), our last score, as Richard Bland leading the match 2-0. As that block does stay in, and North Dakota SCS has their first lead, I believe, of the entire match. We'll have to go back and look at that first set, but I know that they did not have a lead in that last set. 25-10. And Brown.
Serving is Sarah Heath.
Back to serve is Heath. Our next match will be our final in the consolation round. It's Walter State taking on Heartland. That's slated for a 3:30 start time and an ace. Boy, the aces are piling up for Richard Bland. 11 of them in this match. Only one for North Dakota SCS. And that attack goes out on the far side. So Richard Bland. And Sarah Heath back to serve. Went sideways. Did that go around the antenna? No. The official over here, R2, straight down from us. He ruled that that was out. You're not going to be able to look at that, though. Coach Pass is asking for that, for a challenge on that, but the only way you're going to get a look at that is through the camera at the net. And see, the official on this near side, a flag bearer, did not wave that that was out. And Stigora, big kill there. But North Dakota SCS just has not got their offense rolling. Cole, 4. Stahlberger, 4. Gostovich. We talked about how big matches they had against Lansing. Gostovich had 16. Hoff had 14. And Cole had 12. They just have not gotten things going. And maybe that'll help out right there as Stigora gets back-to-back points. Back to serve is the Mondack MVP. That's the conference that North Dakota State College of Science is in. And big swing there and kill for Brown. I want to know how long it took Brown to get those those braids going. Somebody had to take some long time to wrap those things up, and that's another kill. Gostovich. So Gostovich getting going. Ooh, and a block up front. So that worked earlier. That particular play worked early, where Mitchell jumps, the set comes over her, and it comes to Goggin. And the Wildcats made the adjustment. Got the big block off of it. Knew it wasn't coming to Mitchell. And Brown. Brown is having some kind of a day. Jaden Brown up to her 4th kill, and she has 5 aces. 6-5 our score. Richard Bland leading the match 2-0. Set for Mitchell in the middle. I did notice that Coach Passa went back to Foster to set. As the late stages of set 2, he decided to make the change and bring in Rose Wendell. Serve. Pin up by Gostovich. And that hit the antenna. Yes. Her attack, I believe, went into the antenna for North Dakota SCS. So comes right back over to Richard Bland. after a slow-ish start in that second set for Iowa Central. They lead 21-17, make it 22-17 over Gulf Coast State over on that far side. And they serve. Mather and her first ace, and team's only second. Goggin, yes. Mohagan and Cole not on the same wavelength there. And if you're Mohagan, you got to take that. You got to tell your freshman, that's my ball. Mohagan does take that receive. Curl. For Stahlberger. Johnson come into the tournament, 211 digs. 3.32 digs per set, 25 aces. And solid DSs. Teams overlook. And two-touch call. Boy, there will never be a more crucial two-touch call for Richard Bland than what we saw last year. Scottsdale, Richard Bland in the finals, going to the fifth set. And that one falls to Richard Bland's side. And that's how we ended the national championship last year. Richard Bland calling a timeout. Shauna Rath gets called for a two-touch in the national championship fifth set, and Richard Bland celebrated. Scottsdale couldn't believe it. Scottsdale comes back here undefeated. And the Fighting Artichokes will be on this court a little bit later on tonight. Meanwhile, Richard Bland leads 2-0 in this consolation round after falling yesterday 3-1 to Illinois Central. Yeah, I got to say that as a broadcaster, last year's final for the national championship left a lot to be desired because you end on a two-touch call instead of a big hammer hit or something like that. I felt the same way if you've been following volleyball and how prominent the sport has grown. Nebraska and Wisconsin had a marvelous match over at Lincoln. Those two teams meet again soon. If you get a chance, I'd definitely recommend you watch if you're a volleyball fan, as Mitchell puts that one down and ties it back at 10s. But I felt bad for the broadcaster of that, because that call ended with Nebraska challenging. They went back, they ruled on it, and the call was overturned, and Nebraska won, and the broadcaster just has to sit there and go, well, I guess it's over. That was a 5-setter as well. So you just kind of hope for that big call. Although this year, I don't know if I want a big call. Not the way I've sounded. But you want it to end on something, on a big highlight or something like that. I remember joking with Coach Dryden of Richard Bland afterwards. I went down and talked to him for a minute after the national championship was over with. He said, oh, don't worry, we would have got the block anyway. Set was low. I said, well, you could have ended on the block then instead. And that threw the block for Goggin. And Scipione goes back to serve. Tied up at 11. By far the best set we've seen out of Ooh, and a roll shot by Heath. But this has got to be the best hitting performance we've seen so far. Well, that's actually not for North Dakota SCS. I thought it would be. Hit 154. First set they hit 161. Thought they were hitting a little bit better than that. And an overpass. And Sarah Heath going to take that one. That'll move Richard Bland up. They're hitting 375 right now in set 3. Overall, they're hitting 329 for the match, and North Dakota SCS is hitting 101. Iowa Central did win set 2, so they lead the match over on the other side 2-0 over Gulf Coast State. Still have yet to get a set score from Delane today. I don't know what's going on over there, but 13-12. There's Foster serving. And Brown blocked, comes back to Heath. She has to adjust and missed it. Good job by Foster, getting her body out of the way and tied back at 13. Nobody really grabbing a hold of momentum. And now the Wildcats are hitting over 200. I said this got to be their best. Hagen in on that dig, and then big swing kill over the far side for Hoff. Let's go through some individuals. As Cole, Stahlberger, 5 apiece. Gostovich and Stagora, 4. Hoff has 2. Goggin and Heath tied up. They both have 10. Mitchell has 9. And a tip up and over the block. Smart play by Samantha Cole. And with Mitchell out, going to be more high volume hitting for Heath and Goggin. Heath blocked again. 16-13. Richard Bland did use a timeout early. And now the Statesmen are out of rotation.
Rotation violation, Statesman. Point Wildcats.
I believe that had something to do with Scipione. And Heath tried to cut. Didn't work. And Coach Champagne going to call a timeout. That's their second. Yep. 18-13. Our score is North Dakota State College of Science has the lead. 3-12. So the roles reverse as the Wildcats hit zeros in second set. 5 kills, 5 errors. And Richard Bland hit 417 with 13 kills and 3 errors. Here in this set, Richard Bland hitting a paltry 130. 9 kills, 6 errors. And on the other side, 312 for North Dakota State College of Science. 8 kills, 3 errors. Do have 3 aces now, do North Dakota, along with their 3 errors. Digs, only 24 digs for the Wildcats, and they've moved up their blocking. They're up to 3 blocks, and I would say that's been the Energizer Bunny that the Wildcats needed, that they're finally getting some blocks and slowing down this Richard Bland attack. Foster still serving. Still blocked by Heath. It's another chance. Up and over the block. Cole. And so that second touch should be a Scipione. And she said afterwards, that's my fault. And how about the response for Coach Passa's group? Not giving up. As block again. The blocking has really energized the Wildcats. It wasn't happening earlier in the match. They weren't getting tips. Really weren't slowing things down, which is why the scores were what they were. There's Brown making adjustments. So Brown tips over the block. Scipione was the first to touch. And then Sarah Heath has it go down in the back corner. I get to see a really strong top spin serve. Durko had one of those last year. And that goes down for the Skora. So Kaylee gets a quick side out. Gets it right back over to her partner Cole to serve. And that's a big kill for Goggin. But you can't trade 1-on-1s when you're down. At some point, Richard Bland has to take a run at this third set to get the sweep. And Shaw back to serve. Goggin again. This time it's out. Oh no, they ruled the touch. They did rule the touch. Oh, we might get a challenge on that though. And Coach Passa's going to request that. Gives me an opportunity to tell you to order your 2023 NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championship merchandise online at the NJCAA store. Visit shopnjcaa.com to view exclusive national championship merchandise. And you're watching the NJCAA Network presented by Zurich Insurance, the official provider of student-athlete insurance for the NJCAA. Zurich Insurance helps athletes get back on the court or field after an injury. Learn more at zurichna.com. So consolation round continues. We're at 2-0 right now. Richard Bland leading North Dakota State College of Science. Scores were 25-18, 25-10. However, here we are in set number 3, and it's 21-16. This 25 will be over with. And we've got a challenge by Coach Passa, as she is claiming there was not a touch at the net. It looks like the review is over with. The official talking to both. And the ruling stands. Coach Passa just shook her head going, yep. Because she got the clarification from the official, too. I think he even called out the number. Stovich can't put it down. Goggin can't either. And block on the line and down. So Richard Bland trying to put a run together with Hinshaw back serve. Ooh, Cole just getting that up. And Mitchell can't get a swing out of it either. Triple block up front. Cole on the back, and Mitchell blocks again. And Coach Passa is going to call a timeout. Richard Bland starting to climb up on their hitting in this set. That was a big block by Mitchell. Mitchell's got 3 of those in this match. Scipione also has 1, Heath 1, and Goggin with 1. Blockwise, Tagore has 3 and 2 for Hoff. And 11 aces for Richard Bland, 3 for North Dakota State College of Science. Kills-wise, just 24 for North Dakota SCS in the match at 125. And 10 of those kills has come in this set. Right now, Richard Bland coming out and on a little mini run of their own. This is 21-14, so a 4-0 run. Henshaw still serving. Up and over the block. Smart play there by Hoff. A much needed side out after that 4-0 run. Brown pounds off of the block. Ooh, big swing and attack there by Stahlberger. 2 points away from extending our match. Short serve. Mitchell blocked. And in for Scipione. Got to do something fast with it. Not much he could do. Goggin checking over with the coaching staff. But into the net. North Dakota State College of Science with the set point. And Sarah Heath will have none of that right now. But the problem is that you got to fight off 3 more. And Phoebe Heath will serve. That puts Addison White up front. Mitchell has to sub out. Oh, the overpass. Another overpass. Blocked up front. And saved by Cole. Heath again. And what do they call it? 4 hits? Or no, 2 contacts. So you fight off 1. And Phoebe Heath going back to third. And into the net. So 25-22. And North Dakota State College of Science stays alive. And we'll go to a 4th. And we'll come right back and bring it to you here in just a moment. 25-22, NDSCS wins that one. You are watching the NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championship on the NJCAA Network. We enter the fourth set here for our consolation round. We've had some long matches this morning and this afternoon here on court number one. We had a five-setter earlier between North Dakota State College of Science and Lansing. That finished 3-2 with NDSCS winning. We also had Rock Valley and the Walter State. That was a 3-1 victory for Walter State. And now our third match is going into the fourth. We've got Heartland coming up with Walter State. That's our next match. And then we move into the quarterfinals and the championship side. I give a ton of credit to Coach Pass's group, though, because they could have just rolled over. They were down 2-0, coming off of one of the worst sets they've had, especially today, 25-10. And they rally back and win 25-22. Hit much better. They hit over 200. There was 269 in that set. Got a couple of aces late, too. And they're blocking. I still go back to the blocking. They were having a hard time picking up Goggin. You know, with the amount of volume that Sarah Heath hits, you're going to get some tips off that eventually because you're just going to see it over and over and over again. Goggin, and not as much, but certainly high volume too, but not as much as Heath. And they're starting to put some tips on that too. And I do think that the blocking helped out more than anything else in that last set. They slowed things down, giving their back row a little bit more opportunity. Overpass. Jaden Brown snapping that. Jaden Brown's had a fine day too. Cole 7, Stahlberger 6, and Stigora 6 kills. Goggin and Heath 12 and 12. So you look at that and go, man, okay, does Goggin have as many attacks as Heath? No. Goggin, as Heath hits that one down and puts her at the 13th, that's her 41st attack. For Goggin, 12 kills on just 19 attacks, 474. That's why I said the difference was. And I also thought Mitchell getting the middle going. I know they got Richard Blaine got Addison White to kill not that long ago too. But changing things up for Richard Bland makes a big difference on their offense. You can't just simply go to Heath, and expect, just to pound your way into a victory. Well, she's going to get hers, but as Jaden Brown takes something off of that one, she's up to 7 on 17 attacks for 294. Let's talk about the assists. Scipione with 38, 27 on the other side for Foster. How about that hit? Going all the way down to get that with Johnson. A good save up by Richard Bland as well. And nice little counterattack. And the point for Samantha Cole. Her 8th.
Serving is Samantha Cole.
Richard Bland, 47 kills. North Dakota SCS 29. That was Goggin in the middle. See, I don't even mind that. Goggin comes back with it too. If you're not going to go to White in the middle, at least utilize the middle part of the court, and that's exactly what Richard Bland was doing there. So you're trying to change the eye direction, at least a little bit, of North Dakota State College of Science in their defense. And an ace serve. Meanwhile, here we are in set 4, and we've already played 10 points. The other side, they're not even done with set 3 yet. And a kill there for Stigora, I believe. Or no, that went to Hoff. Riley Hoff. Stigora stands right in the middle of the floor, as she has for every serve. No walk up, no nothing like that, just simply swing. And out for Goggin. So Stigora back to serve once again. Set for Mitchell. She changes from the right to the left. Brown goes back to serve. Big swing there by Kostovich, but can't put it down. Goggin tries on the other side. Kostovich, another one. No, came back over to her as well. And then into the net for Hoff. Jaden Brown to serve once again for Richard Bland, leading the match 2-1. Won the first two, 25-18, 25-10. Lost the third, 22-25. And it's Mathern to serve. Ooh, and an ace. Misplayed there by Goggin. Got to go with the bump. Trying to fling it with the the fingertips. Goggin, line shot. Great dig by Mathern. Mitchell into the net. North Dakota State College of Science has a 1-point lead in the set 4. Goggin puts it down to tie it right back up at 9s. Back and forth we go here in set 4. Teams both hitting well over 200. Oh my, what happened there for Goggin? That was like she didn't even want to serve it. Just totally gaffed on it. Heath can't put it down. Oh my. Foster goes up and over. Then it tipped off of the fingertips of Heath. Mitchell blocked up front. Saved by Heath. Curl shot for Stahlberger, not down. Heath can't find it either. Foster almost got the tip. And it is out on the free ball. So 12-9. Really an ace. Heath swings. And a great diving play. That was by Mathern. And this one's long. And Phoebe Heath coming in to serve. Richard Bland down by 2. Fourth set. Consolation round. Win this match, you get to move on to tomorrow. Fall, season's over. That'll be the way it goes all throughout for any of these teams. Wow, another great save by Mathern. He's made some marvelous defensive plays, and that is long for White. Yeah, number 11, Lily Mathern. She's also from Moorhead, Minnesota. We talked about with Mohagan earlier in our other broadcast. And that is a kill for Sarah Heath. And into the net. Like I said, I gave a ton of credit to the Wildcats already for their battle in the third. This thing was 2-0. Looks like it could have been completely done. could have just said, okay, sayonara, we're done for the national tournament, but they have battled, found some rhythm with their offense, and Cole at 269 in the third after hitting 0 in the second. Here in the third, they're hitting 150. As North Dakota SCS holds up to 9. I think that's what she had in the first match, too. And Heath gets a point. Right now, Richard Bland's just trading, though. Going 1 for 1 each time. And if you continue doing that, North Dakota State College of Science will gladly take that. That means they're going to walk out of here with the set 4 win. We're going to go to 5. Did that count? Henshaw, yes. Oh, wait. Well, they did call that. They called that a point. There's a late call. Thought they called the dig. And out. On the save. So back to save again is the libero. Cutter out. Einshaw. Great job learning the position. She played outside hitter as a club ball. And she gets an ace here. Loved her ball control, saw potential. 23 digs in the regional final match. And after that, North Dakota State College of Science calls a timeout. Richard Bland putting it right back to just a 1-point deficit here in our consolation round. We have one more, as we alluded to earlier. We've got Heartland and Walter State. Winner of this will play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We start at 11 tomorrow in our consolation. It'll be the third round tomorrow of consolation. And we got Friday at 4 o'clock. So 11, 1, 4. Then you come back for quarterfinals of the consolation at 6 tomorrow. That's how we'll end the day. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And then you move forward on Championship Saturday. Boy, I called the semifinals for D3 Friday night fights. I don't know what I'm going to call the semifinals of D2, considering they're going to take place at 4:30. They're not Friday night. Friday afternoon. I don't know. I'll have to come up with something for you tomorrow. Saturday is still Saturday night's main event. That I do know. And that is long for Goggin. So the timeout there, utilized by Coach Passo. Gets a side out, gets Stagora back to serve. Over on the other side, Iowa Central and Gulf Coast State, they're heading to the fourth as Gulf Coast State won the last set. Goggin shot far side, Cole there for the dig. Block up front. Transfer Riley Hoff, and she gets the point. And Stagora once again to serve. And Richard Bland decides to take a timeout. Coach Champagne and company trying to regroup a little bit. Down by 3. You can follow all the action of the 2023 NJCAA Volleyball Championships live on the NJCAA Network. Go to njcaa.org/network to view live and archive video of each game. The NJCAA Network is now available on mobile, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Android TV streaming platforms. The NJCAA Network, the home for NJCAA digital content. Got championships here. Soccer's going on. We got championship down in Hutchinson, Kansas for Division I volleyball that's happening. So there's a lot going on right now for the NJCAA and all their championships. We'll see if North Dakota SCS can force a fifth. Second time today that they would go to 5. Mitchell wants none of that. As Michaela Mitchell puts that thing down. Michaela Mitchell on the year. Her season high was 10 coming in to the tournament. She did not have that yesterday, so she is up to a new season high. And she has 11. And there's a shot there for Riley Hoff. Nobody in double figures yet for North Dakota SCS. Cole 9, Stigora 8, Stahlberger 6, Hoff 6. Right back into Mitchell. I love that idea. If your pass can get her going. And down for Goggin. But the passing has to be there for your middles to get hits. You know, you can set outside or right side usually, even if your passing isn't perfect. But your pass has to be perfect. Not perfect, but pretty close to perfect in order to get your middle going on a set play. Tipped up and over by Stahlberger. And Heath answers on a line shot. 18-19. Set 4. 2-1 lead, Richard Bland in the match. And a line drive serve. And Gostovich was trying to get out of the way after Mohagan had made the initial serve receive. And it bounced right off of her. Then Mohagan had no choice but to make a third play on it. And a second ace in a row by Goggin. So Leilani Goggin, back-to-back aces, gives Richard Bland the lead. And that tip finds the black. Ooh, that was close. I'd like that attack to go more towards Mitchell as Heath misses. Johnson on the short. Mitchell does get one this time. Well, it's like they heard me. No, they didn't hear me, but. And then Phoebe Heath to serve. 21s, set 4, consolation round. Loser of this, season done. For NDSCS, that means they need to win this one. Overpass. But can't be killed off by White. Good dig up by Goggin. Heath on the cutter. Mahagan there. Tip was coming for Johnson. Goggin on the Wonder Woman punch. Not much power on that. That was a better swing by Cole. Heath on the roll off of the net. Boy, Foster somehow got to that. I don't know how. Back set for Goggin. And Mahagan saved it. Heath, big swing, no. Overpass, battle at the net, played over by, a two-touch call. And a two-touch call on one of the finest volleys we've seen out of these two teams. Good pass. Oh, and a tip over by Foster. She kind of caught Richard Bland's defense discussing things after that last block.
Serving is number 2, Ryan Mulhagan.
That block was going to be in, so Heath again. I don't know if that was touched. They say it was or was not touched. Well, North Dakota State College of Science 2 points away from forcing a fifth. Mahagan into the net. When you just can't have one, that's when you have it. Fifth serving error on NDSCS. Richard Bland, 15 aces, 10 errors. Oh, sideways. Not an attack by Cole, though. Heath. Cole saved it. Free ball up and over. Timing was all kinds of off on that for Addison White, and yet it still paid off. And Coach Passa did have one more timeout, so she'll take it. So 24-23, Richard Bland a point away from ending the match and the season for NDSCS, and because of that, and then I'll run through some of their sophomores. Yes, Rose Wendell, Brian Mahagan, Mohaugen, pardon me, Laura Green, Katie Gostovich, and then O'Reilly Huff. You'd think I haven't seen them yet. Here I am struggling with their roster. I've been saying their names the whole time. It's been a long day already. Court number 1. That's it for their sophomores, though. It's a really good group coming back. You get Foster, your setter, Cole, volume hitter. Abby Johnson's played really well in the back. We saw Marley Wheeler, earlier. And Mathurin has made some spectacular plays in the back end, too. Not only that, but then you get Stahlberger and Stegora. So there's a lot of core back for Coach Passa to work with next year. Match point. And tip works for Stegora. Extra points. We won't charge you anymore for them. And Heath. So Sarah Heath puts it back to match point. Segura again. And keep the match alive. And Cole back to serve. And was that? No. And hit the antenna for Goggin. And so now the North Dakota State College of Science has a chance to force a fifth. Goggin through the block and answers. Libero for Richard Bland. Serves into the net. Once again, back to set point. We've had a couple match points. And an ace serve. And we're going to 5. So North Dakota SCS responds after losing 25-18, 25-10 to win the next two, 25-22 and 28-26. We'll come back with the money set here in just a moment. You are watching the NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championships on the NJCAA Network. The fifth set, I call it the money set. And boy, has North Dakota State College of Science been money here late. They hit 263 in that fourth set. 13 kills, only 3 aces. They hold Richard Bland to 16 kills, but 9 errors at 149 hitting average. And North Dakota State College of Science has not hit it well throughout the entire match at 183. They average at 196. And for Richard Bland, they hit at 250 on average. They're closing in on that at 239. But some errors by Richard Bland. Ooh. I see a Heartland Hawk down there with the crutches and big knee brace on. Coach Fromm will have to tell me all about that. As Heartland is coming out next. Mahagan on the serve. We start things off with a Goggin kill attempt, but blocked off. Cole tries to do the same thing. Battle at the net. Got to come back over to Richard Bland. Wow, Foster kept it alive too. Tip, overpass, and down for White. Boy, she almost missed that too. It was awfully close on the sideline, but able to find some of that black part of the court as the pink and black attack on the floor. And into the net for Hineshaw. Tied up ones. Boy, the teams over on the other side, I can see them gearing up too. As Iowa Central and Gulf Coast State, they're in a dogfight right now. Next match on the other side should be Wallace State and Grand Rapids. And that misses. Going to 15. Still got one review. So one challenge yet. Brown through the block. Foster saved it first. And then the tip up front, Hoff. Not going to get over as Goggin is there. Coach Passer coming off the bench for that one. And back to serve is Brown. And that serve misses. There's some mistakes by Richard Bland here. That rolled off the side of Heath. And just a free ball by Richard Bland. Through the block. Set for Goggin. Tipping over the block. Threes. Individual wise. Segura 10, Cole 9, Stahlberger 7, Hoff 6. 36 assists by Foster. Back row, Johnson has 13 digs. Mohaugen has 15. That's all for NDSCS. Mohaugen, well, count as another one. Blocked by Mitchell. And for Richard Bland, 17 kills for Goggin, 17 for Heath, 12 for Mitchell, 7 for Brown, 5 for White. Assist-wise, 50 for Scipione. Goggin serving. Brown about lost her step. Heath, and that's out. Diggs on the back. Einshaw with 16, Goggins 16, 11 for Heath, and 9 for Brown. Total digs in the match, 62 for Richard Bland, 51 for North Dakota SCS. 5-3 lead. Can't get it up. Oh, and the back official had pointed down like that had touched. That official ruled otherwise, and Heath with an attack and down. So the pancake is there for Brown. 6-3. And Coach Passa calling a timeout. They still get 2 of those. Just 1 challenge. 6-3, Richard Bland leading. Getting hot here in the 5th. 3 kills. 10 total attacks, just 1 error. And Coach Passa's group discussing things. They had some hard battles with Bismarck State. That was another team that was rated. Coach Passa said to have a local rival is awesome, and what sports is all about. You need to have someone that brings out the best in your team and allows you to fight. Bismarck State, they had to do that a couple times with Bismarck State. They played on September 11th and lost 2-3. They played again on October 16th and won 3-2. The North Dakota State College of Science came by in way of the Northwest Plains title. That was beating Central Columbus out of Nebraska. Lost the first match 2-3 and had to play 2 more times the very next day on November 4th and won 3-0 and 3-1. So Goggin on the serve. And that tip will work for Gostovich. So 6-4. Remember, they'll switch sides after a team hits 8. Stigora, middle of the floor. Plants herself and serves. Far side, Heath. And the block late. Oh, but they had a net violation. Oh, boy. Heath, that time the block was there. And Heath again. But it's the errors like the net violation. They were out of rotation once for Richard Bland. They had some errors that have been fairly costly in these last 2 sets. And Phoebe Heath going back to serve. And a rocket launcher that goes out. That brings Henshaw back in. Heath on the cutter. Yes. The next broadcast is supposed to start at 3:30. That is not going to happen now. And so now they switch sides. One final time. Richard Bland and North Dakota SCS. Scipione will be the one to serve for Richard Bland when play continues. Richard Bland, the defending champions, losing yesterday. New champion will be crowned Saturday night. Just a free ball over by Richard Bland. And out, missed by Jaden Brown. almost an ace. Heath just had to smack it over. Close to tying it up on the ace. Heath, big block up front, and that works for North Dakota SCS. They've tied it back at 8 here in this 5th. Lost the first two 25-18 and 25-10, but have rallied back. Couple of excellent dives there on the back line. Foster with a tip over. Foster came into the tournament with just 28 kills on the year. And Richard Bland takes a timeout, down 9-8. So both teams have called one timeout here in set number 5. And the weird thing is that when you look at what North Dakota State College of Science is hitting, they're in the negative. Negative .071. And Richard Bland is hitting 158, but only 2 errors for the Wildcats. 4 errors for Richard Bland Statesman. 14 service errors. You know, it's just some of the mental mistakes that Richard Bland has made throughout this match that has kept North Dakota SCS into it, and now a chance to win it. And all of a sudden, that far side court's getting interesting too, because Gulf Coast State has a lead of 24-23, and they're in the 4th. So they could be looking at a 5th over on that other side. And Heath off the block, hit the antenna, and tied back 9s. Heath walking all the way in the back by the carpet, which you're allowed to do. In fact, if you're looking at it, can't quite see it, but there's a curtain there that blocks it. The players can walk all the way to that curtain if they'd like to serve, and Goggin missed it. See what I mean, though? There's another attack error. So you're just giving points to the Wildcats. Brown on the tip, saved by Foster. Set for Cole, no. Brown can't put it down. And another tip. Goggin on the line shot, and it is down. The other side does go to 5. So Iowa Central had led 2-0 over on the other side. Gulf Coast State has answered with 2 straight. So we're in 5 sets here, 5 sets over in court number 2. Hineshaw serving. Oh boy, that went backwards. Not the best setup, and out. Leads to an attack error on North Dakota SCS. Hineshaw back serve. Remember, Passa has a timeout, so does Coach Champagne. Into the net. I'm telling you, the errors for Richard Bland, when they go back and look at this film, even if they get the win, there'll be a lot of things that they're going to want to clean up. Out. Foster again. Short serve off tape. Goggin, yes. Answers again. And Brown will serve for Richard Bland. 3 points away are both teams from advancing in our consolation round. Fifth set. Not the best pass, but they got the roll shot out of it. Can't put it down, though. Goggin has a free ball, and there's miscommunication there. Set for Hoff. Can't put it down. Goggin, push shot, nope. Foster touched it first. Big swing, kill Cole. Remember, Coach Champagne does have a timeout. Likely use it here if this thing gets to match point. And Goggin, boy, we're going to have to go extras for set 5. Sure feels that way, doesn't it? Thirteens, set 5. Loser goes home. And for Richard Bland, since I already ran through the sophomores for North Dakota State College of Science, when they had a match point as Heath jumps and kills right off the block. But it'd be Georgia Alexander, Leilani Goggin, Jaden Brown, Jordan Schlageter, Marissa Donovan, Sarah Heath. That's the sophomore group for Richard Bland. And it is set or match point again for Richard Bland, which they had in set 4. Both courts in set 5. Our consolation round, and we're going to get one more as Heartland and Walter State coming up next. Coach Pass is talking directly to Peyton Foster and not addressing the group. Talking more to her setter. So here we go. Match point. Fifth set. Goggin serving. Diving play made by Brown. Boy, she almost touched it again. Heath can't put it home. Set on the far side to push. Another great diving play by Goggin. Free ball up by Heath. Where's it going to go? Tipped up and over the block by Kostovich. Heath off the tape. Mahaugan there. Far side. Gustovich. So Gustovich with that point. Puts it at 14s. And so Stigora. Remember, Coach Champagne has one left, though. Good pass. Heath can't put it down. Stigora gets all the way down to make the play. Hoff can't put it home. Brown was there. Heath again. Blocked up front. Yeah, I was going to say, Coach Champagne has one. She looked at Coach Dryden to make sure. Figured that was coming. And 15-14 now, it's match point for NDSCS. We're 1 point away from seeing the defending national champions go out in this tournament in 2. Stagora's going to serve. And how about the response? Can't state it any more than I already have with Coach Pass's group. Down to a match point in set 4. They battled back, rallied 128-26. Stagora waiting for it. She's played really well. Stagora with 10. Her season high is 11. Up and over. And was that touched? Yes. Foster tried to get her arms away from it, could not. And life goes on, just like this match. And Phoebe Heath subs in. Got a big service error the last time she was in. This time a much better serve. And mishit by Hoff. And we got to remember now, timeouts are done. Coaches don't have any more. You got to watch and let it play out. And missed. Long. Should be Mather in the serve now. She's subbing in. She reports in for Hoff, so. Tied up 16s. Heath works around the antenna. Blocked up front. No, it come on the side of, and first, Stahlberger gives North Dakota State College of Science match point. Mathern out. My goodness, the agony that I am seeing on fans all over. I see the Heath family straight down to my left. There's NDSCS fans to my right. Just slumping the shoulders, rolling the heads. They can't believe how long this thing's going. Big swing kill. Gostovich. And back to serve. Abby Johnson. And another match point. Will this marathon ever end? Heath. Yes. Down. Continues. The fans in front of me can't believe it. 18s. At this point, why don't we just go to 25 for the fifth set? Why not? Off the tape. And Sarah Heath puts it back as Richard Bland as a set point. Or match point, pardon me, I said set. Oh, roll backwards. That's not what you want. Overpass. Yep. NDSCS had to regroup. Chance here for Goggin. What a diving play by Mohagan, but then nobody played afterwards. Goes up and over. Richard Bland's going to survive. 20-18. I'm exhausted. I can't imagine how the kids feel. 20-18. And Richard Bland will win 3-2. Oh my gosh, what a match. And they will await to see who they play. Not guaranteed yet on who they will play tomorrow. Richard Bland wins. They hit 229 in the match, 73 kills, 67 assists. That might be is that a record for Richard Bland on the year? Yes, that's the most kills they've had in a match, 73. Top 67, what they had earlier in the season. For North Dakota SCS, 45 kills, 159 is what they hit, 44 assists. 16 aces also for Richard Bland, 5 for NDSCS. 10 kills for Cole and Stagora. Stahlberger, 8. Gostovich, 7. Hoff, 6. I do want to make mention of Foster. She had 3 kills, 40 assists. And on the back line, Mahogan with 18 digs. Richard Bland, 24 kills from Heath, 22 from Goggin, 12 from Mitchell. And they get 59 assists from Scipione and 19 digs from Goggin and 19 from Hinshaw. 20-18, our final from the 5th, and Richard Bland wins 3-2. They'll play tomorrow, and for North Dakota SCS, their season comes to a close. They go 2-2 in the tournament, though. They still got a couple of wins. Our next broadcast come up soon. You're watching the NJCAA Division II Volleyball Championships on the NJCAA Network.